Hello and welcome to the SAGE course pack for Ritzer Essentials of Sociology. Before we begin, I want to highlight a few things. All of our resources are going to fit directly in your Canvas course shell. This will be loaded into a master course, and I'm going to show you how you can copy from the master course everything into your individual course shell. We're also going to show you where to locate the tutorial videos such as this one. And we want to make sure that you have access to all of the instructor assets, as well as see the components that are created for the students, and they're broken down by chapter. Before I get too far into the details, let me highlight some very broad things. Anything and everything that you see or that I'm going to show you during this video training, if you click on these three buttons on the right side of the module, you can edit, duplicate, move, or remove anything and everything that I'm going to show you today. If there are things that you don't want to make available to your students, you will see the circle with a line across from it, which lets you know that it is not being published, meaning that in the student view, it will not be available. This is important to remember because in the instructor assets, you're going to see that we have the test bank in Microsoft Word. You can also deploy it through the Canvas course shell, and we also have a link so that you can create a paper assessment. We want to make sure we're not publishing any of the instructor assets, because if we begin to publish these, students would have access to the test bank answers, and we obviously don't want that. Before we show you all the functionality of how and everything works together within your course shell, let me go ahead and show you how you'll be able to copy your course shell. On the left-hand side, underneath Home, the very last item you will see is Settings. We want to go ahead and click on the Settings tab. Once we've done so, if this was a blank course shell where there's nothing created, what I would do is I would import course content. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Import Course Content. Once I have done so, the content type will be a copy. So we're going to copy a Canvas course. Here, if you have access to the master course, which all of the instructors should have, you would search for the correct course, locate the course that you're looking for, select all content. You can always go back and delete or remove all of the items afterwards. We strongly encourage you to select all content, so that way you begin with everything, and then you can kind of pare down to how you like to teach your course. And then import. Because I already have the materials, I'm going to go ahead and skip to that section now. Beginning in our homepage, SAGE has invested quite a bit in premium video. We have partnered with the Associated Press as well as curated our own video that are really meant to make dense concepts and theories really accessible to students. And we do that in a very visual way, which is why we want to make sure we have those videos. And those videos do have assessments. And we also have a list of the premium video. If you want to pull up video at the beginning of a course or in the middle of a lecture, you can absolutely do that from your interactive ebook. Access to the interactive ebook can be done directly through your Canvas course shell, and you can access it anywhere you can find the internet. Next, in the instructor resources, you're going to see the instructor's note. Why is this important and why should you check this out? Well, it's going to list all of the assets and capabilities that SAGE has put together for you. From the learning objectives and why those are important to students, every single video, every single quiz, every single flashcard page is tied to a learning objective. We really want to make sure that we are a strong content provider and we're giving purpose to what we're providing. So when students ask you the question, Professor, why am I learning this? Or why am I watching this video? You can tie it all back to those learning objectives. We also have the pre and the post test, which are created to be pre-diagnostic assessments, meaning that students can be assessed the pre-test, or you can assign the pre-test through your Canvas course shell, which is automatically graded, and you can make it actually available for a participation grade so that students can see where they understand the concepts and which concepts they're still struggling with. The test bank is available in 3 different formats. One is through Microsoft Word. If you prefer to copy and paste the questions individually to create a midterm or final, you can absolutely do that. I've also included a video which will show you how you can create tests that will be automatically graded within your Canvas course shell. I strongly encourage you to visit that. We continue to have a lot of different resources that are available to you as an instructor, but I'm going to go ahead and go back to the homepage. The second item will be our instructor video tutorials. There's a variety of different video tutorials for you here, such as how to create a multiple choice and true-false test using the test bank within Canvas. The instructor how-to notes will also be, once again, little how-to notes on how to really be able to hit the ground running now that you have your Canvas course shell. The majority of the assets that you're going to use are going to be located under instructor assets, and they are broken down by chapter. Here, we have a variety of different exercises, chapter activities, discussion questions, lecture notes, learning objectives for the chapter, PowerPoint slides per chapter, and the test bank in Microsoft Word. I'm going to present a random scenario that may or may not happen. Say you have an emergency, you are not able to prepare with your materials, or something is going on, or you want to have at least another idea as far as incorporating just overall new ideas into how you might be approaching a specific chapter, because it might be very dense. What I might suggest is if you do visit the lecture notes, once you click on that, they will populate directly below and enable editing. And here I have a full summary. If I'm a new instructor teaching this course, this can really be helpful to me as I'm preparing my chapter outline, preparing my lecture. I can take as much or as little from this as I would like. As an instructor, this is just intended to be an opportunity to really augment or have a new perspective as far as what we're publishing and what we have for you. So we have a lot of great resources there, and I'll let you take some time to go ahead and look through that when you have an opportunity. The media guide is a really powerful tool as well. The media guide breaks down all of the resources as it pertains to the multimedia. Because we have invested quite a bit in the videos and audio resources that we have, here I will be able to see on the top left-hand area, which is an open access video, meaning that I can access this anywhere. It also lets me know the title of the video, a brief description, and the link. Some of these are going to be access code protected. Your students who purchase the textbook in the bookstore will absolutely have access to the interactive ebook. And we're going to show you what the interactive ebook looks like in a little bit. So this is one of our Sage News Clip quizzes, or Sage News Clip, which is actually tied to a quiz if you want to assign them. So this is on the rise of sneaker culture. It gives you a brief description and lets you know that it's going to need an access code. Going back to my course shell, there's a lot I can do and a lot I can see. Once again, we want to make sure we're not publishing those instructor assets, because then students will be able to see it. Tables and figures actually allow you to use the images that are within the textbook, because the Ritzer book is such a rich and visual textbook. You can actually incorporate some of those tables and images that are not copyrighted by someone else and actually pull them into your existing PowerPoint slides. While Sage does have PowerPoint slides, we understand that you may have already curated your own PowerPoint slides over the course of possibly teaching this class for several years. So If you want to change or add images based on what the book has, you can absolutely do that in tables and figures. If this book is absolutely new to you and you have been using something else, if you've never taught using the Ritzer book, in this case, the previous textbook that was being used was another Sage book by Gene Ballantyne and Keith Roberts titled Our Social World. Here, this will give you some information as it pertains to the new edition of Ritzer, which is the book you're using right now. And if you ever need to locate your rep, you just click on the Find My Rep link and it'll connect you directly to your Sage rep. My role in the company is to be the media and product specialist. My goal here is to make your life easier. That's really what my job description is. So as we're looking into all of these items, please feel free to reach out, ask any questions, and someone from Sage will respond to you very quickly. The next thing we're going to dig into is actually going to be the student resources. But before we begin that, let's take a quick peek at the textbook information. In this page, students will be able to sign in or create a VitalSource account. It will allow them to enter in the access code that they would have purchased when they bought the physical version of the Ritzer Essentials of Sociology textbook. Students are getting a very special pricing at College of Southern Nevada. They're going to get a lower cost through your bookstore than they would at Amazon, and they obviously wouldn't be paying for shipping as well. So the value of students purchasing it within the bookstore is really going to be in their best interest. Additionally, they're going to get access to this interactive ebook at no additional cost when they buy it in the bookstore, when they buy the interactive ebook and the textbook package in your bookstore. And the premium videos are only available through the interactive ebook. So that's another incentive. And also, if you do choose to assign some of the premium video quizzing, then they're going to want to make sure that they would have purchased that through the bookstore. We're going to go ahead and show you what that looks like. Here, this is just essentially a walkthrough for students to be able to access or sign into their VitalSource account. That's within the textbook information. Within the chapter, everything begins with the learning objectives, but going back to that interactive ebook, if I go to chapter 1 ebook, and we have ebook links built into every single chapter. If I am in the library, I don't have my physical book, and I still have my VitalSource account information, and I type it in, I would simply click on you can read chapter 1 here. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. I've entered in my information already, so it will connect me directly to chapter 1 of the Ritzer Essentials of Sociology textbook. There's chapter 1. The interactive ebook is really unique. Aside from working with a Braille tablet and having e-reader functionality through the app, not through the browser version, there's just a lot you can do here. At the very beginning, you're going to see the media library, which here you will see the premium video. There are different types of premium video. Aside from our data maps, we're also going to have the Sage News Clip videos. Those videos are through the Associated Press. They have closed captioning and transcript upon request. The Sage Concepts in Sociology video are Sage original video. We created those ourselves. I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'm going to click on that video, and it's going to connect me directly to what I'm looking for.
In sociology, a bureaucracy is a large hierarchical organization with specific work tasks. Bureaucracies are often thought of as big.
So this video goes on. Most of the videos are going to be between 2 to 3 minutes, and they're really going to break down a lot of the core concepts that are being discussed in the book. For students, McDonaldization, which is a core theme throughout the Ritzer textbook, might be a little bit challenging at times. So what we want to do is use a lot of these videos. They'll help break it down, and that way they're understanding these difficult concepts, and students are going to have that aha moment where they're able to really put things together for themselves, and you see that light bulb go off in class. That's one of the most amazing things you can have as an instructor, I think. So here, this is one of our video types. They are intended to be pretty engaging. I'm going to scroll back to the top. Here, the next video I'm going to select is actually going to be a news clip video. The news clip videos are once again through the Associated Press.
When the seeker first originated in the
closed captionings,
the middle of the 19th century, rubber, the sap of a tree, was a very limited commodity.
So here I would watch this video, and once again, these videos are going to be fairly short. This video is 1 minute and 31 seconds. They're really intended to be quick snippets that you can pull from. You can actually copy this link and add it to your PowerPoint slides if you did want to use some of these videos while you're lecturing. If you see that students are just kind of glazing over, especially if this is their last class of the day, if you're teaching in the afternoon or evening, videos can really engage students and really, once again, tie it back to those learning objectives, tie it back to why they're taking that class. Now that you've seen the interactive ebook, there's a lot of other functionality we can show you, such as how to highlight, which you actually just do by literally highlighting. It actually saves your highlights as well. There's a lot you can do within the interactive ebook, and we'll show you a little bit more as it pertains to the video quizzing in a little bit. I'm going to go back to my Canvas course shell in my home page. Since where we last were was the chapter resources. Every chapter is going to have the learning objectives, a link to the interactive ebook, flashcards, a link to the premium video in the interactive ebook, discussion questions for students, journal articles. There are open access Sage articles. Since we have quite an arsenal of journal articles, we want to make those available to your students. And we also have open access video and multimedia resources in case you did not want to use some of those premium videos. The flashcards I'm going to highlight because these are actually the #1 resource that students actually do use very often. Students go through the process of creating their own, but here we've actually created it for the students. So here I would turn the card over, and then I'll select the next one. These are open access. Students can use them on their phone, on their tablet, on their computer, anywhere they go. These are the assets that we have that are going to be readily available for your students on day one. They won't need to purchase access to get into this course shell. As soon as they're registered in your course, they're going to have access to this course shell. Essentially, if you are struggling to use a lot of resources, or if you already have a lot of great resources within your Canvas course shell, this just adds to what you're already doing. But if there are items that you don't want to use, for example, if you feel that journal articles would be something you may not want to highlight on chapter 1, you can unpublish it. You can also click on those 3 buttons. You can remove it, and that would allow it to kind of streamline your page a little bit. You're in the driver's seat when it comes to the Sage course packs. That's what really makes these resources so valuable for students as well as for you, the instructors. This has been an overall overview of what we have within the Sage course pack for Essentials of Sociology. In the next video, we're going to go ahead and show you how you can deploy the pre-test, the post-test, as well as the video assessments that we've created. Just a little hint that this little plus button will be your best friend when it comes to deploying a pre-test or a post-test. Please click on the next video so that you can learn a little bit more. We wanted to really truncate a lot of this training so that way you can select the videos that are going to be most pertinent to where you might be in the semester. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please check the next video.